doesn't it? Okay, it's Saturday morning. Welcome to a new video. We've got a car here behind me that's featured very briefly in the previous video about the 4 C4Ss. The car's sold. It's collection day. The customer's coming down at about 2 o'clock. However, we fitted one of those PCCM pluses that have just come out. So we want to do a quick demonstration video, maybe a little review of it if we can. So yeah, we'll have a look in a second, but first we're going to get a few clips of this lovely motor. Okay, what we're going to do first is have a look at the actual aesthetics of the unit. So, while you get in there, I'll go around the other side. So the actual physical appearance of the unit, let's turn that off. I like that a lot. I think that looks as if that's always been there. The actual surround, I know you said, you know, it could look a bit more modern, but I like what Porsche done there. It looks like it was made in 2003 when the car was made, but it's obviously got the modern features on the actual unit itself. The box down here fits in nicely. We fitted it to the side so you can get your phone down the side there nicely. Where's my, oh, you've got my phone, so we can't do that. What other bits have we got to put on the car that you can see? Oh, here we go. Thanks very much, Ollie. So you can put that nicely. Oh, he says you've got a big case on there. Without a case, you can fit it in there nicely. What else have we got? We've got the microphone. So the microphone, you'll often find on the aftermarket ones, they're often up here or clipped in here and they fall out, or people clip them here and you can see it and it's not as nice. On the Porsche one, they fitted it so it goes here on the steering column. When you're driving the car, you can't even see it. If you're really looking for it, you can see it, but it doesn't look too outrageous sat there, does it? And then lastly, this is the GPS, isn't it? The GPS unit.
That's the GPS.
GPS sat over there. Again, you can't really see it. It needs to be near the windscreen so it doesn't get interfered with. Again, it looks modest and subtle, and I really rate this. But let's move on and go into the features of the unit itself. So let's talk about the usability and the features with the unit. So just firstly, it's very, very responsive. You touch the buttons and it's instant. There's no lag like you get with some aftermarket units. And what I like as well is it's not all touchscreen. You've got the kind of basic buttons at the bottom: home, tuner, media, phone, nav, and back. It's very self-explanatory, very easy to use. If we go into the features, right, so you've got tuner, pop onto that, you've got FM, AM, which not many people are going to use, and then the DAB. Click on the DAB, very easy to go through again. You store the presets, flick through, I don't know how many are on here, 20. The list is there. It's automatically got them in there. Scroll through and just click on one you want to save. What do we like? We like a bit of heart 80s, like a bit of 80s music. Pop that. Oh no, I've not done it correctly. Hang on, yeah, it's done it. It's done it, is it? Yeah, there we go. It was as easy as that. I thought I'd made a mistake there. We've barely used this, but it's very, very easy to get to grips with. Next thing we've got on the list, media. Click on media. So you can plug an item in on USB. The box is down here. Down there and show the audience, Ollie. And then we've got a slot for a micro SD. I don't know if people will use that. I'm guessing you can put pictures on there. We haven't tried it. Put pictures on and put your music on there. Bluetooth, of course. You can link your phone on Bluetooth. And then a classic auxiliary cable again. That's on the box just down here. Let's go back to home. Now, phone. Click on phone. If you've linked it by Bluetooth, this is the screen you'll get. I've already put my phone on, so you can see Luke's iPhone along the top here, connected by Bluetooth. However, the feature I think most people will use is either Apple Airplay or the the Android equivalent. So you plug your phone in down here. I've got an iPhone here. We plug that in. It should connect very, very quickly. Again, it's very responsive. There we go, Apple CarPlay connected. Very quick, again, we're not waiting around for that to connect. And then the best feature, if we go back, Apple Airplay now comes up here. Apple CarPlay, sorry. Click on there and it's essentially the screen that you would see on your phone. People will already be familiar with this from the aftermarket units, but you've got all the standard features on there. It brings up the home menu for the Airplay there. Here we go. If you want to use whatever you use, if you use iTunes, you've got the music there. I use Spotify. So we go on there. Oh, you've got no connection on it. Oh, here we go. We won't put any of this dodgy music. It's Ollie's phone on here, so we won't put anything on. But there we go. Let's go back to the home screen. So an important feature is, of course, the navigation that you get in this. The old unit that came out was, of course, useless. So let's have a look at it. I've unplugged the phone, and you get a navigation built into the unit. So I've clicked on there. Again, it's on the home screen to show that. So it's very easy to get to, and it's very easy to use, self-explanatory. New route, I'm not going to put a specific route in, I'm just going to show, select destination. It calculates the route quickly, unlike some aftermarket units, so that's very useful. There we go, it's on the screen straight away. The graphics is very nice, it's very easy to read. Zooming in and out, using the right hand toggle here. So there we go. What I'm going to do now is show the other options. So I generally use the sat nav off my phone. I just use maps on the iPhone. It's just the one I prefer. So I've gone off the navigation, I've plugged the phone in. It would come up on the menu here. So we're back on the Airplay menu. Maps is there, the normal icon that's on the iPhone. Up it comes, a familiar screen that's on the iPhone. Destinations, let's just chuck it in quickly. I won't put your home in, Ollie. And there we go, that's the one I'd use. So you've got either or there, whichever you prefer. But again, it's very easy to use, self-explanatory. Can't fault it. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go out in the car and actually use the PCCM Plus in the real world, I guess. You just want to drive the motor, don't you, Ollie?
Where are we going? Right there.
Swing a right, Ollie, swing a right. Watch the rather large potholes on exit. Is he letting you go? My hands are freezing. Right, what function are we going to try first? I reckon first we should just try the phone. Let's just try and call my brother. He's not going to answer now, is he? He annoys me, ringing me all day long, and then the one time I actually want to speak to him.
Hello?
Is Dan there?
Yeah.
Well, you all do. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
You're live on FGP TV.
What?
We're trying out this Airplay thing for a video. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's cool. There's no echo. You can't hear road noise. I can't hear you very well. Have you got us on loudspeaker?
Yeah.
Can you put it off loudspeaker just so we can get a good indication of what it's like?
Hello?
Yeah, that's better. I can hear you now. So it's all good. You can't hear road noise. You don't hear an echo.
I can hear the cars in the background.
You can hear the car in the background a little bit.
Well, one just went past, it sounded like.
I don't think so. You can hear my voice clearly.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye. I think that was pretty conclusive. It was alright, wasn't it? Unlike your dodgy Merc one where I get an echo whenever I ring you. They could hear us without an echo. That's the main thing. I hate hearing an echo on a hands-free. Good. And the microphone's all the way over there and they could hear me fine. Just passed the first test. What should we try next? I'm going to whack on the sat nav. Let's swing a left. Let's try the sat nav. Okay, so new route. I want to take us to Bulldog Services. You can actually buy me that coffee you didn't buy me earlier. I think I'm joking.
Come at a price.
There we go. Bulldog Services. Now Now I know this route, so I can tell us if it's a sensible route it takes us on. Let's go. You can just take us, Ollie. You don't know the area as well as I do. It's nice, isn't it? Look, it's got the destination arrival time there.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's got. You watch the road. It's in kilometres at the moment. I imagine you can change that. We'll try that. The kilometres till we get there, and the time it's going to take to get there. Steady on, Ollie.
Steady on.
Right, it's first test. Is it going to go the right way? There's two ways it could go here to Bulldog Services. One very sensible route. One more long-winded route that my VW Touareg would most definitely take us on.
Nice.
I hate the sat nav in that Touareg, it's awful.
Yeah, VAG sat navs are terrible.
You've gone the wrong way! Not at the fault of the sat nav.
Oh, we meant to try spin round?
Yeah. Do you know what? Actually, that lagged a bit. I might have got that on the screen. That was lagging a little bit. Look, it's got you on the arrow. Look, so you're this arrow.
Yeah. Sorry, let's go.
No, do you know what? I'm not sure. We'll have to look back at the footage. I don't know if that lagged or you just didn't realise that you are this arrow.
I don't think I was paying attention to the screen.
Yeah, I mean, it's most probably user error rather than the actual thing.
I think that's what.
So keep an eye on the road, but you're this arrow. So going round, coming up to the exit. The blue arrow's at the exit. That's pretty bang on, you know. There's not much lag between that and the real world. Oh yeah. Zoomed out.
Yeah, it's because you're on the motorway, isn't it?
Is that what it's done?
Yeah, I presume so, because you're not. But there's no turning.
So I missed it on the clip, but the sat nav just automatically zoomed out. I think it's when we increased in speed and it went onto the motorway, and there's no turning coming up imminently. Quite a clever little feature. What a glorious day. Saying anything, mate. It's up to you and the sat nav. I mean, it's a little bit of a hint when I get the phone out to record you, I know. But... And now look, it zooms back in. It zoomed back in so you can see the detail of the road and the junction.
That's good. Did you which junction exit is as well?
Number 3, yeah. Lovely.
The graphics are really good.
It's very similar to the iPhone one, you know.
Yeah, the iPhone one I think is the best sat nav you can get.
That's the benchmark, isn't it, Ollie?
Yeah, 100%.
Gonna start a little Android iPhone war in the comments here. Leave a comment below.
Right, should I do a loop?
Go into the services. Go into the services. It's got us here. That is the route I would have taken. You gonna go and get me my coffee or what?
I haven't got my wallet on me.
Standard. Right, that was a great success. It's passed the second test. Right, test number 3. We didn't have volume on before. It's now trying to direct us. Hang on, let's just listen to that sat nav. Oh, that's very robotic, that voice. Let's turn the sat nav off. Right, test number 3. What we're going to do is just try the sound quality. So, I'm going to get some copyright-free music on YouTube. I like that music.
Yeah, that's nice music.
Right, steady on, I need to try this sound. music in a video before. This very one. What do you think? We've got Bose in this car, by the way, which is worth noting. I can hear that interior rattle.
That sounds like the headliner.
But the music, well, hang on, so the music quality. Well, the test, I guess, is it any worse than it was with the original unit in it? And it's not, is it? Sometimes you put an aftermarket head unit in it and it doesn't amplify the sound as well as the original, and this one does. It's just absolutely as it was, basically. You can go on settings, you can change the treble and the bass and all that sort of stuff. So that's as it was, it's past that test. That's enough of that dodgy music.
Oh, fitty behind, potentially.
It's an old bloke.
Maybe don't put that bit in then.
I'm putting that in. I'm so keeping that in the final edit. I'm cutting out the bit I was saying about the fuel station, but we're leaving that bit in.
Is it straight on here, isn't
Yeah, you can go straight or you can go right. Can you think of anything else that we can test while we're driving along? Well, what would you use? Yeah, go straight, like straight over.
What about the speaking message feature? You could put that into my phone.
But my phone's plugged in.
Yeah, but you could swap over and say...
Let's try the speaking. This is more of a test for Siri, which will probably fail, but let's try it. Go on. Right, there you go. Your Airplay's come up.
What, it's just showing?
Just say, text me.
So, for example, if I wanted to put in an address...
No, do text...
Without having to
No, do a
type it
text to
in.
me.
Oh, you want to do a text?
Yeah, go back. So, right, you've got your phone plugged in, you're driving along, or you stopped at some lights like this. You want to send a text to me.
So I want to tell Luke that I'm going to be late for work.
Who do you want to send it to?
Luke Porsche.
What do you want to say?
I'm terribly sorry, I'm going to be very late for work this morning.
Because supposedly it snowed.
Your message to Luke Porsche says, I'm terribly sorry, I'm going to be very late for work this morning. Ready to send it?
Send it away.
Okay, it's sent.
Right, let me see if it pings on my phone, hang on.
The bunting.
Right, we've just realised the reason that didn't come through is because I've got my other phone on me. I've got two phones, a work phone and a personal phone. And it's the other phone he's texted. It's right here, by the way.
It's right.
Yeah. That worked. That was
that
right. It's right. The right, not straight on. The right, that's right. I don't know why they haven't got signposts up just saying FGP HQ, to be honest with you. Are we done?
Yeah. I think
Have you been
so.
calling Auto Trader?
Yep.
Trying to source some new stock. Okay, we're back from our little on the road test. I'm really, really impressed. If I was to keep one of these cars to use for myself, I would 100% put one of these units in. It just makes the driving experience that much more pleasurable if you actually want to use that. Thoughts?
Nice modern touch, really.
It's
modern
nice.
touch to a classic car.
But it sits in well. I like it. I like it a lot. I actually couldn't fault that. We don't know if the sat-nav lagged that one time. We'll have to look back at the footage. That's the only fault we really had, wasn't it? Dan, my brother's girlfriend, said she could hear a little bit of road noise. I think you're going to get that on any hands-free, aren't you? But she said she could hear it clearly. There was no echo. The unit's responsive. It's easy to plug in. It looks well. How was it to I mean, it's not... Well, I suppose it is relevant to people.
Yeah.
Some people might try and do it themselves. How was it to fit?
I mean, this was our first one fitting. Some things are quite difficult, like feeding wires through. You have to bypass the amplifier up here. Obviously, feed through the GPS and the microphone.
I wanted to talk about that quickly, actually. So I forgot earlier when we were talking about the appearance. Usually, on a DAB radio, you would have, people usually put it here, a stuck-on antenna here to pick up the DAB digital radio frequencies, and it doesn't look very nice. But in this one, I just learnt this, Ollie just told me.
So this has a DAB and FM splitter, which splits them so that you can bypass the FM amplifier and it will plug straight into the FM's aerial down here.
So basically the DAB is working off of the car's usual aerial? Or
Yeah,
working
the
off
car's usual aerial, yeah.
That's a nice touch, I like that, that's very Porsche. Yeah. Okay, I think that's about all, isn't it? I hope the customer likes it as much as we do. But the plugs and stuff were all plug and play, weren't they? Nothing
Yeah,
needed
it's all
splice
plug
or
and
anything like
play.
that. It's worth noting though, we were just saying about this, Ollie wants to do it differently next time. This car came with a single DIN head unit, so it was just there, and then the climate screen that's there was here, and there's a bracket that goes across. Now, if you're going to change the single DIN one to one of these units, there's that bracket that goes across actually has to be cut. So Ollie in future wants to buy the whole cage from a double DIN unit, so it is literally bolt in and bolt out
bolt
effectively,
in,
rather
bolt
than
out.
any amendments. So we want to do that in future. It's going to cost a bit more. I guess we'll give the option to the customer. It's probably going to cost an extra couple of £100. We've got to look into that. Maybe we'll buy some double DIN cages on eBay or whatever, some used ones, and then we've got them in stock to offer to the customer a bit cheaper, but we'll see how we go with that. It's a bit of a trial and error at the moment. I'm really impressed.
Yeah.
We call that a day.
Yeah. Excellent.
Thanks. Until next time.